Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on Saturday, the 5th of June. Hi, I'm Paul and I'll be your host this morning in the news today. We'll bring you up to speed with that test match between the Black Caps and England at Lord's. Also, we've got NRL news for you. In the rugby, we had two Super Rugby Trans-Tasman games last night, as well as games in the A-League. The NBA, the NBL, and the Sal's NBL, all those basketball tournaments. Also, netball was in action yesterday. I just realized I need to refresh the scores on that one, as well as golf action in the PGA European Tour and the LPGA. So a stacked week show of results for you or updates and results for you this morning. This is your best way to start the day up to speed with all of the important sports news. Let's kick off with the netball, and the Tactics beat the Pulse 55-52 last night down in Christchurch. A big win there for the Tactics, as that sees them climb above the Pulse into third place in the table, just 1 point ahead of them. They're putting pressure on the Mystics in second place. Northern Stars still 3 points clear at the top of the table in the ANZ Premiership. Moving on then to the golf, and in the PGA, that's the Memorial Tournament. Danny Lee missed the cut at 11 over par, and so won't be taking part in the weekend's action. Ram of Spain currently leads at 12 under par in the third round there. Over on the European Tour, and we got two players in action at the European Open. Detry of Germany leads away at 4 under par, with Ryan Fox at 1 under par, sort of 3 shots behind the leader, in tied at 12th place. And Josh Geary at evens and tied at second place, so 4 shots back there in that one. So both still in touch after the first round. The big tournament of the weekend, though, is over in the LPGA, in the second major of the year, with the US Women's Open. Currently, Sasso leads the way in that one at 6 under par. Lydia Ko has made the cuts, but let's be honest, is struggling by her standards. She is 5 over par currently, in tied at 41st place. And unfortunately, for other Kiwi competitor, just trying to find what Garvey, she missed the cut at 11 over par in that one, but good to see her there. Anyway, but Lydia Ko, after a really good start to the season, or to the year, took a break before this one, and it doesn't seem like she's managed to maybe lost a bit of her form in that one, unfortunately for her. Moving on then to the basketball, and over in the NBA, the Clippers beat the Mavericks 104-97 to tie the series 3-3 and take it to a deciding 7th game. This is the last series in the opening round to be decided. That will be decided at 7:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. So probably no results for you in the NBA tomorrow, but say that one will be tied up. Then the conference semifinals look like they're going to be kicking off, and that has Philadelphia hosting the 76ers, hosting the Atlanta, and the Milwaukee Bucks having hosting the Brooklyn Nets in the East. Well, it's not hosting because it's a series, isn't it? And then Denver will be playing Phoenix in the West, with Utah waiting to see who their opponents will be. As things wrap up in the NBL yesterday, the Kings beat the Bullets 83-82 in a close one. Also, the Breakers had their final game of the season. They up against the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. It was all tied at the end of the first quarter, but the Phoenix took a 10-point lead into half-time. And whilst the Breakers won the second half, they couldn't claw it back, losing 78-83 in that one. The Breakers being led by Ty Webster with 26 points and Colton Iverson with 12 rebounds and 10 points, with a double-double there in that one. Over in the NZNBL, and it was a busy time yesterday with 2 games as the top 2 were in action. The Southland Sharks continued a good weekend after beating the Wellington Saints, beating the Otago Nuggets 78-85 in that one. And the Wellington Saints bounced back with a big win over the Canterbury Rams, 89-64 down there in Christchurch. So a big, Wellington Saints really bouncing back from that one. The Southland Sharks are still top of the table with 16 points, 2 points clear of the Saints, but they have played 3 more games. So the Saints will be looking at pulling that one back. A 4-point gap then back to the chasing pack of the Nuggets, Huskies, and Hawke's Bay Hawks on 10 points there. We'll see whether the games today can split those as the 2 Auckland teams go on the road. The Auckland Huskies will be heading down to play the Hawke's Bay Hawks, and the Franklin Bulls heading down to the Manawatu Jets. Don't forget to join us at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, where we'll bring you an update on those results in the Sal's NBL. Moving on to the A-League, as that season, again, the regular season there wraps up, and we know who the finals teams are and what order they will be in now after the Brisbane Roar lost to Sydney FC, putting Sydney FC into second place. The Central Coast Mariners beat Western United 2-0. That gives them third place. Newcastle Jets and Perth Glory, a dead rubber down there in the bottom half of the table, drew a 1-1. Melbourne City then will finish top of the table on with even though they've got 2 games left to play. The top there, Sydney FC in second, Central Coast Mariners in third, Brisbane Roar fourth, Adelaide United fifth, and Macarthur FC in sixth. Wellington Phoenix miss out by 1 point, finishing in seventh place, and this out on the finals there. Melbourne Victory will be taking on Melbourne City today. A result that doesn't matter, with Melbourne Victory at bottom of the table. And then Melbourne City still got the game against Newcastle United, second from bottom. So Newcastle Jets, second from bottom there in the table to play. We'll see whether they bother with that one or whether they just go straight into the finals. Moving on then to the rugby, and as I say, 2 Super Rugby Trans-Tasman games yesterday. First up, the Highlanders hosted the Waratahs in a what was more like a basketball game in that first half, with both sides scoring up against each other. A late try after the buzzer gave the Highlanders a 33-23 lead at half time. In the second half, they came out and shut down the Waratahs, who were unable to score in the second half. Even though they did get over the try line, that was a couple of disallowed tries in this one, as the Highlanders stretched out their lead to win 59-23 with a big win there at home down in Dunedin. The Hurricanes then headed over to Canterbury. Headed over to Canberra to take on the Brumbies. The Brumbies got an early lead with their scrum half dotting over before the Hurricanes used their line-out maul to good effect and drew things equal. A yellow card to Karifi for a shoulder to the head in a tackle. Luckily for him, the player was dropping, otherwise it would have been a red card there. The Hurricanes managed that yellow card period very well, not giving up any points, and took a 3-point lead, 10-7 into half time. Geordie then missed a penalty early in the second half, and with just one score, the Brumbies scoring a try to go 12-10 up after 51 minutes, won the game. The Canes really did up the tempo and got over the line themselves, but the try was disallowed for a knock-on, and Geordie Barrett missed 2 late penalties to win the game, as the Brumbies got the second Australian win in Super Rugby Trans-Tasman there, 12-10 in that one. One more game to come as the Chiefs host or the Rebels for a home game in Sydney due to travel restrictions related to Melbourne and Victoria in that one. That game kicks off at 5 p.m. Today. Really, I thought it was 4:30. Anyway, that's an afternoon game today there. And 5 p.m. kickoff over in Sydney for Chiefs versus Rebels. That's 5 p.m. New Zealand time, folks. Don't forget to join us at 8 p.m. this evening for the Super Rugby Roundup of all of the Trans-Tasman action from this weekend. There is a small chance that will be delayed until tomorrow night, being Queen's birthday weekend, because I will be heading down to Papamoa for the second round of the Kate Shepherd Cup, which is the Women's National Cup competition down there. Papamoa are taking on Auckland United at Gordon Spratt Reserve at 1 p.m. So I'll be down there for that game, covering that. So if you want to, if you're down in Papamoa, pop along to that game. Looks like it might be a bit of a wet one, unfortunately, with the weather forecast, and say hello. Moving on then to the NRL, and in a shortened or condensed round, sorry, rather than shortened, due to the state of origin. Just the one game yesterday, as the Storm saw off the Titans 20-14 in that one. One game today as the Knights take on the Eels. Don't forget the standoff show on 8 p.m. on Wednesday. We'll take you through all of the action that we've had this in week 13, as well as preview that state of origin game will be the perfect pre-game appetizer for you, with that one kicking off soon afterwards and being on TV3, free-to-air TV here in New Zealand. Obviously, the big sporting event of the weekend for New Zealand is that test match up in England over at Lords, where the Black Caps are leading currently. However, it could have been so much better. Burns, who ended up making 132 darts down the wicket to Mitch Satner, but Watling didn't collect the ball and missed out on a stumping there. Also, Burns edged Wagner into the slips, where he was put down as well. So 2 chances to get Burns out there. He was the last man out in the end, with England getting bowled out for 275. Southey taking 6 wickets, Carl Jamieson 3, the final one being picked up by Wagner there, as he got Stuart Broad out for 10. It could have been so much better. Ollie Robinson batted for nearly 2 hours for 42. Stuart Broad, again, over half an hour for 10, and James Anderson over half an hour for 8, not out, chewing up a lot of time. And after having this third day, it was day 3, wasn't it? rained off. That means that New Zealand are running out of time if they're going to win this Test match. Roy Burns then was the last man out, scoring 132, a bit like Conway was for New Zealand when he battered, nearly battered through the innings, scoring 200 before he was run out. In the second innings, Devon Conway is out for 23, and that makes him, with 223 runs, the highest run scorer ever for New Zealand as on debut. Kane Williamson was out for 1, meaning that Tom Latham on 30 and Wagner on 2 are left in there ahead of the final day's play. Ollie Robinson taking both those wickets. It's going to take something for New Zealand to win this one now, as they lead 165 runs with 8 wickets remaining, but only 1 day's play left. In this one's going to need a bit of a collapse by England if the Black Caps are going to take a win here in this one. You have now started the day the best way to be with all the important sports news. As I say, I'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Also, we're an independent production, so if you would like to help support us, bring you all of this content every day, then head over to patreon.com/NZ Sports Radio, and you can support us for as little as $1 a month.